I've been trying to seek more balance lately and to get myself into a healthier place, just mentally and physically and spiritually and all the things. So I've been taking periodic breaks on coffee. And so what I'll do is I'll take a few days off and then eventually I'll come back to it. And I don't go off the deep end. I just have like half a cup just to kind of remind myself what it feels like to be alive. But I'm realizing that the temporary boost in energy and alertness that it gives me, honestly, are turning out to not be worth it. Because inevitably, once the afternoon rolls around, my body starts crashing harder than the stock market on a Black Tuesday. So it's not ideal. But every time I drink that half cup, it inevitably starts this chain reaction that just kind of snowballs as the day progresses. Like I start getting these facial tics, like I've got full blown Tourette's, like my neck starts twitching and my eyes start doing some of this. And like, I feel like I'm a glitch in the matrix or something. Like, all day long, my teeth are just kind of endlessly chattering like some kind of a meth head looking for his next fix. I get like this tightness and this pressure in my chest, like I'm on that submersible looking for the Titanic. Like it's not good, guys. So after those first few sips of coffee, everything eventually starts making me deeply, deeply, deeply irritable. Like every single little noise is suddenly stepping on my last nerve. The sound of the landscaper out front of my window with his leaf blower just makes me go into berserker mode. Like it ignites this primal rage from deep within me. And I don't know if it's like the specific frequency of that contraption that he's holding, or the decibels, or the coffee, but I just become unhinged when he fires that thing up. Like, how dare he make the sidewalks look so nice and presentable when I'm in such a bad mood? It's after I drink my coffee that Chi-Chi suddenly decides to walk on over and get a drink, starts lapping up a bunch of water with his big, stupid tongue, making the most disgusting wet noises I've ever heard in my life. Just makes me want to chuck that water dish across the room. I'm just incensed. Like, how dare he have the audacity to be thirsty around me right now? Like, read the room, dude. Or the sounds of the neighbors just repeatedly beeping their car to make sure that it's locked. Like beep, 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 beep. Makes me want to throw a rock through their windshield, but I know that that would make the alarm go off and just annoy me even more. So I don't, but I want to. Or I'll go on a walk after drinking coffee with Chi-Chi and just to get out of the house and get some fresh air. And inevitably, like 85 different people are walking past me at the park and they're saying, "Oh, your dog is so cute," which of course makes me irate, right? Like, yeah, okay, cute. What about me? Like, am I cute too? Like, I know with that attitude, I'm not very cute, but like, it might be nice to hear it once in a while, like, come on. The bottom line is I just don't like the person that I become when I consume coffee. Like I become unreasonable. Like it makes me a bad person. I basically transform into a dark roasted Hulk. Like you won't like me when I'm caffeinated. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the cult. Good to see you again. Before we dive into today's episode, I just want to give a shout out to you guys. Like, shout out to all of my new subscribers, all of my new followers. Hello, welcome. Good to see you. And I've been really enjoying just the comments and just talking with you guys online and really enjoying that. So thank you. I've been posting clips on social media if you're interested. So you can follow A Cult of Misfits on Instagram and X. I started a TikTok account, even though I currently have 0 subscribers. It's there if you want it. For all you TikTokers. I'm not one, but I heard that the kids are on TikTok these days. So we're going to see how that works out. But so far, not so much, but we'll see how that goes. So full episodes are available on YouTube and Spotify. And if you don't want to sit down and digest those in their totality, you can just follow me on social media and get the bite-sized clips and reels. All right. If you've been following me for a little bit here, I've kind of been teasing at my school cafeteria job. And today's the day. today's the day we're going to talk about that, how some things have gone down, how I got the job, some of the drama that's been happening there, and where I'm currently at with that job. So, um, just to get everybody up to speed, I had some jobs in Washington State. I just recently moved down here to Arizona, and I just wanted to hit the ground running and get some jobs. So I threw my resume out. I have a bunch of restaurant experience, so I just kind of applied to every restaurant in town. I've worked at every position. I can do it all. So I just, figured it won't be that hard to get a restaurant job around here. I mean, there's, 1,500 chain restaurants within a mile radius. So I thought like this is going to be like shooting fish in a barrel. No big deal. But it turns out that is not the case. I had a little bit more difficulty securing a restaurant job, or any job for that matter, than I had anticipated. So eventually I get a call back for an interview from something I applied to on a whim. I was like, well, whatever, just see what sticks, right? And I got a call back about a school cafeteria job. I'd never been a lunch lady before, so I thought like, okay, well, we'll give it a roll. And they ended up hiring me, and I was kind of excited. I kind of like trying new things, right? Just like my other job working at the assisted living facility at the last place. Never done that before. A lot of fun adventures, and I'm always down for some new adventures and to step outside my comfort zone and try something I've never tried before. So I thought like, okay, why not? School cafeteria sounds great. So they loved that I was so versatile and had so much experience doing everything in the kitchen, and serving experience, because there'd be some, interacting with the students as they got their meals and stuff. So it was kind of a perfect fit for me. So, okay, yeah, whatever. We'll just see where this goes. So I get the job. It's about 30 minutes away, and I got to wake up at 4 a.m. to get there on time. So that took a little adjusting, but that's what the coffee's for. I don't have that anymore. But I was definitely chugging coffee to get to work every day, and it went pretty well, right? It was all new, and I like new things. That kind of first few days of excitement and nervousness, and like, let's see where this thing goes. And it went all right. There was some kind of butting heads with the manager there, and it wasn't ideal, but I've dealt with some difficult personalities before, and I thought like, whatever, it's just a stupid job. I can do it. It's fine. So I made do. It was a real negative environment, but I thought like, whatever. So I'm doing this for a few weeks, and just kind of seeing what's happening next. In the meantime, I'm just applying to other places, just seeing what'll stick. Maybe I'll get another job or whatever. And while this is happening, I'm kind of, talking to the universe, asking for a little nudge, looking for the right path, looking for some extra income just to kind of make ends meet, right? And so just as I asked for this help from the universe, one of my coworkers at the cafeteria, she's like, hey, I do DoorDash for some extra cash, and I make a lot of money actually doing it. This is like my fourth job. And so DoorDash is one of four, and it's super easy, and you should give it a try if you're looking for extra cash. And I was like, okay, sure. I guess so. That sort of seemed like the universe sort of winking and nudging at me. And so anytime I feel something, I just go for it. Like, okay, let's just see where this leads. And it might be a dead end. It might be where the universe wants me. I just see what happens. I just kind of try to go with the flow. So signed up for DoorDash, and as you had heard from my previous episodes, I have just I got a new car that I was very excited about. I had saved up a lot of money for it. I had recently been living out of my car for a long time, and so I was very proud to be in this new car, new to me, 2015, but still a new Chevy Equinox. Loved it. Super excited to have my new car. So I drove down to Arizona in that, and now I had the ability to drive to this job in that. And I was just very grateful that I had a vehicle that I didn't have to sleep in. So that was pretty great. And now in my spare time, this cafeteria job was on a school schedule. And so we were out of there by like 2:33, and I had the rest of the day and the rest of the evening free. So it was kind of perfect to hang out with the kids. And on the days that I had them and the days that I didn't have them, I could do this DoorDash food delivery, right? So I loaded up the app and I started doing that. And it was okay. It was just a job, but I got to listen to podcasts in the car. A lot of waiting around for McDonald's food, right? A lot of like, driving 16 miles to deliver one McFlurry. So that's cool, but whatever. Like whatever. It's money. It's an opportunity. I was trying not to be too negative about it. So I was just thankful to have cash flowing into my pocket, right? Like it could always be worse. I have had it worse. So I've been trying to get myself to a place in my life where I try not to focus on the negative, right? I try to get myself to a place where it's like, let's just focus on the things that are going right. Okay. It's really easy to focus on the things that are going wrong, but then I got caught in that spiral and that loop and it starts getting dark and scary and ugly. And I don't like that. So I just try to be positive about it, right? Like there's always something around the corner waiting for me. God's always got my back. So I'm just going to see where this thing goes. So I'm delivering DoorDash, right? In the evenings. And then during the days, I'm working at this school cafeteria. So one day I'm coming home from the school cafeteria. It's 3 p.m. And this is in the dead middle of summer, right? In Arizona. So it's 4,000 degrees outside, right? Like everything is really intense. So I'm on this off ramp, just getting off the off ramp on the freeway to go home, about 5 minutes away from my house. And my car check engine light comes on. And I was like, okay, that's awesome. That's cool. Focus on the positive, focus on the positive, focus on the positive, right? Like everything's going to work out, everything's going to work out, everything's going to work out. Well, everything didn't work out. My car gave me about 4 seconds of a check engine light, and then I was like, hey, here we go, and shut down completely. So I'm on the off ramp in the middle of traffic with cars all around me, completely dead car. It's not starting, it's not moving, it's not doing anything. I feel like it's just, I can feel the vultures circling above my head. Like this is the end, guys. So I'm trying not to panic. You know how stressful that can be, right? Your car freaking dies, especially when it's not in a convenient place. So it's even extra disappointing because I had a car full of food, right? We take home food from the cafeteria. And so I just had a car full of food and it was just going to rot in the desert heat. So I was like, gosh, dang it. Okay. I was really looking forward to those sandwiches, but that's okay. That's okay. So I get out of the car, just sweat pouring down my face because I'm sitting in the car trying to figure out what to do next and kind of panicking. And I have AAA, and do I call them? And do I there's no AC at this point. So it's been 2 minutes. And so now I'm roasting inside of my car. And so like, I gotta get out of here. Like I'm going to die. So I get out of the car, grab my cell phone. And of course my cell phone is on like 1%. So I'm like, yeah, this is just getting better and better and better, isn't it? So my phone's at 1%. I try to get myself off the freeway. I'm like, do I lock the car? Do I not lock the car because the battery's dead? Will I be able to get back into it? Just I'm panicking and overheating and kind of trying not to freak out. And anyway, there's a Panda Express right on the off ramp there next to it. So I jot across traffic, trying not to get hit because nobody cares. Get out of the way. It's too hot out. So I go to the Panda Express where it's air conditioned and I just try to take a breath, right? Figure out what to do. And my phone's about to die. And so I don't know anybody down here except for my ex-wife, right? So I text her and say, hey, look, I'm in a bit of a pickle here. Got some pickles in the car that are roasting, but can you give me a hand? I just need a charger so I can just figure this shit out. And I need some help. So she was very gracious, as she always is, and came to the Panda Express and helped me out. Recommended a mechanic and all of that. And finally I got AAA to show up and thanked her for her help and got enough juice on my phone to connect with AAA. So I run back out to the freeway off ramp where he's loading up my car, and he hops in and we start heading back to my house, and just a little small talk. He lets me know that he's from Baghdad. And he's like, oh, you think the weather here is bad? Try Baghdad. And I was like, yeah, okay, buddy. Like, I know what the maximum temperatures are on this planet, and we're basically there today. So, like, don't try to tell me Baghdad's worse than this. And he's just like, well, it gets 1 to 2 degrees hotter there. And I was like, okay, well, good for you, buddy. Like, glad you fit right in here in Arizona, but like, I'm dying. So that's cool that you're a real desert lizard, but I am not. So he drops me back off at my house, and that's that. And now I'm stuck with a dead car, right? And I've got to be at work in the morning and I have no way to get to work. It's 30 minutes away. And so I'm just trying not to panic, right? And so I just kind of close my eyes, pray about it, meditate upon it, try to breathe. And what I end up doing is sending a text message to my manager. And I just decide to be completely honest and open about it, and um, just real transparent, and just say, look, um, my car died today. I have no way to get to work tomorrow, let alone the rest of the week. I honestly don't have any money to pay for the repair at this point. Like, that's why I was doing DoorDash, but I'd only been doing DoorDash for like 3 days. So I've got like, $75 in my account now, barely anything to get by. And now I'm stuck with this dead car and no way to get to work. And I don't want to quit. I feel like I've let you down. Um, it's ironic because just the day before, the manager had offered me a position to run one of the kitchens on one of their properties. And I was super excited about running one of the kitchens. I had a ton of experience doing that. And I was super pumped about that. And then, of course, the next day, my car dies, can't go to work. Sorry, womp womp. So I said, I'm so grateful for the opportunity to run the kitchen. I don't know what to do. I'm just sort of like at your mercy. I hope you don't fire me. I'm a really good employee, but like my hands are tied and I'm just kind of like waiting to see what you're going to say. So some time goes by and they finally text me back and say that they're a mechanic. They used to be a mechanic and pretty handy around cars, and that they would drive to my house and take a look at my car and potentially fix it for me at no charge. And I was elated because these are the types of things that happen in my life, and not everybody's life. I'm not special, right? But these are the blessings that I just I expect from the universe. These little blessings and the big blessings, right, that come along. I say these prayers to God, these prayers to the universe, like, help me out, right? And it always comes in a way that I never expect. Right. I didn't know how this thing was going to wrap up. But then sure enough, they're like, oh, I can come and fix your car for you. And I was like, wow, thank you. And it kind of brought me to tears, to be honest with you. Just the generosity of people and the way that the universe works, the way that God is always looking out for me. And so I was just like, thank you so much, God. Thank you so much, manager. So we set up a time, and they ended up coming over to my house and taking a look at it, and determining that it was probably the alternator that crapped out on me. So they went to the auto parts store and got the the parts for me. And meanwhile, it's 185 degrees outside, so they're just sweating profusely trying to install these things into my engine. And I'm just like bringing cold water out from the house, just trying to keep us all from dying. And I'm just standing there like a dope. I don't know anything about cars, right? Like, I can't do anything here, but you're doing a great job, thanks. Just so grateful for their help and assistance. And then, once the alternator goes in, I try to start the car and it just doesn't work. So um, you know, they end up saying, look, we're going to try to make this work for you. Take a few days off. I'll come back this weekend, take another look at it, right, in their own free time. And I'm just like, I feel guilty. I'm like, thank you so much. Like, I don't expect you to do this, but I seriously appreciate it. I don't know what else to do. I don't have any money to pay for these parts yet. So like, I don't know how to pay you back, but and they're like, don't worry about it. Eventually you're good. Don't worry about it. And so everything, all the pieces are coming together. Everything's just working perfectly. And I'm just so grateful at how everything's working out just the way that it always does, right? So they come back the next weekend, take a look at it, try to figure it out. Long story short, they can't figure out what's wrong with it, right? So they end up taking the alternator back to the auto parts store, and I don't know what to do. And so the manager suggests to me that there's another location, another school kitchen that's like less than a 10-minute drive from my house. And I was like, well, that's convenient. And so they said, like, look, if you can scrounge up enough money to Uber back and forth to that new location, then we can make this work for you. And I was like, that is amazing. Yes, I would definitely like that. Thank you so much. Profusely and profoundly thankful and grateful. I really appreciate it. And so that's what I ended up doing. I ended up going to that new location on that next Monday or whatever. And that's where the drama started. That's where the drama started. It was just it was a real toxic work environment right out of the gate. The kitchen was like 6 other women and me, right? Which is no big deal. But it just was real obvious from the get-go that they did not want me there at all. I was sort of the odd man out, and I felt it immediately, and it was quite awkward. And I was just trying to be friendly, right? Like, just trying to get through the day. But there was just verbal abuse all day long, right? Like, we're all adults. I can handle some big personalities, some nasty people. That's fine. I've dealt with that before. That's no skin off my teeth. But working in kitchens, like, you can deal with some real nasty personalities. So that's okay. I've dealt with that before. But it was just kind of relentless and just sort of every day, nonstop. Just they're a bunch of yellers. They like to yell and scream all the time. And just real accusatory, just little stuff that I found to be absurd, right? Like, one of the supervisors there was a real adamant about keeping the sink completely clean. No drips of water in the sink after washing your hands whatsoever. It was real militaristic about it. And so if there was one drip of water after you washed your hands, God forbid, then they would go on a witch hunt. They would say, who left the water in the sink? I found drips of water in the sink. Who was it? Was it you? Was it you? Was it you? And just would relentlessly go after everybody and make an example out of them and berate them and belittle them in front of everybody. And it was just humiliating, is a bit dramatic, but it was just like, come on, are we really doing this right now? And it's just little stuff like that all the time, just always nagging, always yelling and screaming. Employees yelling and screaming and making fun of the students. And I'm like, what are we doing here? We're making fun of the students. This doesn't seem right, but okay. So I just kind of kept my head down, right? Um, then it turned into physical abuse, right? I got slammed into walls by some of these ladies. Didn't like me. I had like these big freezer doors slammed into me on purpose, just like real nasty stuff, right? Like, one time, one of the managers was standing next to this other worker, and she wasn't paying attention and was holding a big steak knife and was looking this way while walking forward and walking straight towards me with a knife, and came within like an inch of stabbing me in the belly. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. And she's like, what? Like, it's no big deal. And the manager was standing right there, witnessed it all, and they just kind of laughed it off. And I was like, whatever, no big deal. And they just kind of turned the other way and walked away. And I was like, what is happening here? Nobody got in trouble for anything. Nobody ever. So I just ended up staying in my own little corner, right? Just keeping my head down, trying to just get through the day, just to do my job, and the manager would call me into the office and was like, what's the deal? Are you okay? Like, we can feel that you're not fitting in here. And I was like, yeah, no kidding. I'm not fitting in here. Like, yeah, I'm not really a yeller, first of all. And she's like, yeah, I know. We've just got big personalities. Like, you're just gonna have to deal with that. And I was like, yeah, clearly. So I was like, okay, I can deal with it. But the way that I deal with it is just like, you got to leave me alone. Like, I'm trying to, I don't want to, fight with anybody. I don't want to get slammed into a wall again. I don't want to be yelled at. Like, I'm generally a peaceful person. I'm just here to try to get through the day, guys. So it just was a real nasty environment. And the more that I secluded myself, the more that they didn't like that. They just didn't end up liking anything about me, no matter what I did was wrong, that sort of a situation, right? I would try to stock this, I was doing it wrong. I'd try to cook that, I was doing it wrong. I'd try to clean that, you're doing it wrong. Like, everybody had a problem with Matt. And so um, it was just a rough environment, right? So this went on for weeks and weeks and weeks. And the whole time I'm just like on my knees praying, like, get me out of here, please, Lord. Like, what the hell is this? Like, why are you putting me through this? What lesson am I supposed to learn here? Like, how am I supposed to react and respond? And also, thank you for the opportunity, right? I always try to remind myself to get out of that victim mentality, which is real easy to slip into, and to just figure out, like, why am I here? What lessons can I learn here? Like, what the hell? So that was going on for weeks. And then I could kind of feel that they were trying to just push me out, right? Like, the tension was growing. It was just getting worse and worse every day. It was sort of all coming to a head. Finally, the manager pulls me into the office yet again. And she's like, look, I don't know how to tell you this, but all of the ladies here, myself included, are very uncomfortable working with you because you're a man. Okay, that's what it is. We're uncomfortable working with you because you're a man. We're not used to working with men. We're used to having a very feminine energy here, and you are not a feminine energy. And now, let me just be very clear that I had never been, inappropriate at all. I had never said anything inappropriate or done anything inappropriate. Those of you that know me in real life are like, yeah, no kidding. No innuendos or anything like that. Any like pervy, gross stuff. None of that. I'm in my corner making pizzas, just trying not to get yelled at every day, right? By these big personalities, as they call themselves. So she says, look, you're a man. And so you're going to have to change the way that you work around here. Like, you're going to have to alter the way that you do your duties. I don't want you near any of the ladies whatsoever. And you have to understand, like, it's like this. It's like a school kitchen, like in the background here. Like, it's kind of tight quarters. Somebody will be cooking the stew pot over here. Somebody over here will be chopping. We're within 3 feet of each other. And she was like, that's not going to work anymore. I need you to stay away from everybody. So if somebody is in front of a drawer that you need to get in front of, that you need to get into, you need to make your presence known, announce that you're there, announce that you need to go into the drawer, let them step aside. Then you can get what's out of the drawer. Then you can resume your duties. You, under no circumstances, are you to go near any of your female coworkers. And I'm like, what? Like, I said, look, I've worked in restaurants for a very long time, 15 years plus, and I've literally never been told that before in my life. I've worked with men, I've worked with women. It's never been an issue. It's not like I'm some sort of a creep. I don't get where this is coming from. And she goes, I don't care. This is the way that it's going to work from now on. Because you're a man, you need to keep your distance, and frankly, you should know better. And I was like, oh, really? Okay. And she said, if you see some of your coworkers standing by the big walk-in cooler and you need to get in there, you need to wait. You need to wait until they're not standing there anymore, because you are not allowed to approach them from now on. If you see some of your female coworkers standing in the hallway, you need to go around. You are not allowed to go past them or near them in any way, shape, or form. And I was like, okay, like, I don't know what to tell you. This is all pretty absurd to me. And she was like, well, you should know this. Like, she was treating me like this is obvious information. I had, breached some sort of an obvious social contract here, and I was a big idiot for not knowing better. And so anytime I would get near any of these women, whatever that means, too close to them, whatever that means, she would berate me in front of everybody and say, get away from her. You're too close. We already talked about this. And just sort of make me look like a big idiot in front of everybody else. And it was just humiliating and degrading and all of these things. So it was a nightmare, right? So I don't know what to do anymore. I can't quit because I don't have another, I don't have a car that works. And so I can't really go out and actively interview without, paying an arm and a leg and Uber fees, trying to secure another job. And so I'm just kind of in this tight spot. I don't know what to do. And so one day I get a call from HR, right? And HR says that the ladies in the kitchen that I work with have filed an official HR complaint against me. And that because of that, they're going to be placing me on paid leave. So thank the Lord, it's going to be paid leave. But I said, what is this in regards to exactly? Like, what is the nature of the complaint? And HR would not tell me. And so I was like, okay, so I'm on paid leave for how long? And they were like, indefinitely, just until we can look into this and we'll get back to you. And I said, okay, well, look, since we're on the topic, I have a couple of HR complaints myself that I'd like to officially and formally email to you. And they said, that's fine. Go ahead and email us your complaints. So I wrote this very long, detailed email, right? I had been taking notes. I had receipts about every single freaking thing that had happened in that kitchen, right? I had names, dates, events, blah, 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 real detailed. And so I fired that off the very next day to HR and waited for a response, right? And a couple of weeks went by and I was like, I've never been in this situation. I've never dealt with HR before. I don't want to deal with that. So a few weeks go by and I don't hear anything. They hadn't responded to my email. They hadn't responded to my official complaint. And so I was like, what is going on here? So I finally emailed him back after a couple of weeks and said, like, okay, first of all, can I get an update on like what the hell's going on here? And secondly, did you get my complaint? And, a few days later, they wrote back and they were like, yes, we got your complaint. No, we don't have an update for you. That was it. And I was like, okay, well, I mean, at least I'm getting paid. That's nice, right? And so it's kind of frustrating because I'm just home all day. I'm actually renting a room out of somebody's home the whole time I've been down here in Arizona. So I'm just sort of, at home all day long by myself or with them. They work from home. So it's just like, tight quarters. I'm going a little stir crazy, out of my mind. So I just go on a lot of long walks with Chi Chi. Reminds me of when I was living in my car, right? Just nothing to do all day. And so I just need something to do. That's why I started doing these podcasts, by the way, but that's a different story. So I'm just waiting, waiting for a response from HR, and several more weeks go by and I don't hear anything from them. Now, at this point, I'm checking my bank accounts and I'm realizing that they haven't paid me anything. Right. So over a month has gone by at this point that I've been on quote unquote paid leave, but I'm stressing out because they haven't paid me a dime this whole time. Right. And I'm falling behind on my bills. Right. I'm falling behind on my car payments. Like I'm getting letters from from the bank saying they're going to repossess my car. And I'm just kind of freaked out to the max. Right. I can't do my DoorDash anymore. I have no other form of income. I'm not making great money at the cafeteria as a lunch lady. So I don't know what to do. And I'm kind of starting to panic. So I email them again and say, look, can I get an update here? And also, you haven't paid me this whole time. So I'm going to need you to pay me immediately because I'm falling behind on all my bills and I'm stressing out to the max here. And so they finally respond. It's been over a month, like I said. They finally respond and say, okay, sure, we'll get you paid. Ends up taking a week for them to finally pay me. And I'm like, okay, fine. And then they write back to me and say, okay, now that we've got you paid, we've got everything squared away with the whole HR thing, and we'd like you to return to work on Monday. But we need you to return to work back at the original location that you were at that's 30 minutes away. And I was like, well, that's not any information. That's not a solution at all, right? I was like, they're making me leave this place that's a hot mess, that's the toxic work environment. They're making me leave. I'm the victim here. They haven't responded to my HR complaints at all, right? And they're just shuffling me off to some other location that's 30 minutes away. So I email them back and I'm like, look, that's not going to work for me. Okay, because that location is 30 minutes away. I don't have transportation there. I can't take an Uber there because it's going to cost the same amount of money to Uber back and forth every day as I make every day in wages. So I can't do that. I'm at a bit of a standstill here. Do you have any other solutions for me? Because I don't want to quit. I need the money, but I also don't want to get fired. So is there a solution that we can come to here? And they were basically like, your car problems are not our problem. So figure it out and get to work on Monday or there's going to be consequences. And I was like, oh my God. So I start reaching out to lawyers and asking them, what can I do here? Do I have a case? Do I have anything that I can file against them for, discrimination against me for being a man, for trying to push me out of the kitchen, for relocating me now as the victim to somewhere that's 30 minutes away, even though I can't get there. And I've made that clear to them. All these things, right? And all the lawyers, I talked to a half dozen lawyers, right? And they were all like, we can't do anything really legally for you until you get fired. So let us know if you get fired. So another couple of weeks goes by, and the day before Thanksgiving, I get a letter in the mail, certified letter in the mail, handed to me directly. I open it up. I know exactly what it is. It's a formal letter letting me know that I've been terminated. So, okay, cool. Now I officially have no more money coming in, but at least now the door opens that I can actually seek some legal remedy for this whole thing. And coincidentally, because I haven't been able to pay my bills this whole time, on the same day, the day before Thanksgiving, my car gets repossessed. So got to wave goodbye to my car from the window as they drove it away. So that was not stressful at all. So I'm in this position now where I can't look for work. I can't look for another job because I can't physically get to another job because I don't have transportation there. I'm talking to a lawyer now that wants to take on my case because they say I have a really good case against these people for what they've done to me and haven't done to me and the laws that they've broken, et cetera. But I need $500 retainer to hire these lawyers. So I'm like, well, I don't have $500. I don't have enough money to pay for my car, let alone $500 to pay you guys. So, is there any way that we can make this work? Can you do this on a deferred basis or something? Or I don't know how these things work. Can you take it out of my winnings once we win this whole thing? And they're like, sorry, get back to us when you have $500. So I'm in this position now where I don't have the money at all and don't know what to do. And it just, I have no car now. I have no direction to go. I'm just completely between a rock and a hard place. And honestly, I've been working so hard at having faith and trust in the divine plan for my life and faith and trust in divine timing in my life, right? Because this whole time God has been saying to me, I've got you. This is all just a test, right? How are you going to respond to these things that scare the hell out of you? right? Are you going to respond with fear, or are you going to respond with faith and trust that I got your back? Because every single time that these things have happened in my life, it's always worked out, right? And always in crazy, wild ways that I don't anticipate, right? And so they're all just lessons for me. That's what I'm trying to view that at. Now, not to say that I don't wake up at 3 a.m. every morning with a giant knot the size of a bowling ball in my stomach, right? Trying to figure out how I'm going to pay rent, or how I'm going to pay it to get my car back, or pay all the back fees, or pay all my bills, or at whatever. I don't know. And, part of me, the voice in my head, right? Hal, as I call it, my ego or my mind or whatever, is telling me what a piece of shit I am, right? What a worthless piece of garbage I am. How could I let this happen, right? I worked so hard to get down here to Arizona, and now it's all falling apart, right? What are we going to do now? What a loser, right? But I'm playing a different game. These last few years, I've been playing a different game. It's a game called Faith and Trust. And and God has just been giving me the thumbs up, saying, keep going, follow your intuition. And where I tell you to go, go, and everything's going to work out perfectly. So I don't have the $500 right now to hire this lawyer, and I have a very strong case, and they're going to get me a lot of money if I could just get that $500. So I'm sort of in this limbo, this in-between space, this liminal space of just not knowing what's next, and trusting that tomorrow's going to be fine, and then I'm going to have a roof over my head and food in my body, and that eventually I'll get a car again, eventually I'll get a job again, eventually things will come together again, right? But not on my timing, and God's timing, which is not what I always want to hear. And that's part of what I'm learning today, is to just trust in the process, right? So, yeah. So I'm just waiting to find 500 bucks on the ground is what what I'm doing to move this thing along. I have found cash on the ground before. Previously, years ago, I needed money, and I got the exact amount of money that I needed, and I found it on the ground, and it was a miracle. And so I believe in miracles. I've had so many miracles in my life, it's not even funny. So I'm a strong believer in miracles, and I'm just trying not to lose sleep at 3 a.m. when I wake up with worry and fear and anxiety, and instead to just try to go back to sleep and realize that it's all going to be good. It's all going to be good, right? Because it always is. Everything always works out for a divine purpose. And that doesn't mean it's not going to be rough. It's not going to be rocky. It's not going to be scary, because it is. But the more that I lean into this trust, the easier life gets. And so it's all practice for me. I'm going to get hurdles my whole life, right? I'm going to get these things thrown at me my whole life. Things are going to be stripped away from me. There's going to be quote unquote terrible things happening my whole life. So I'm learning to deal with those hurdles better, right? Deal with them in a more calm way, a more knowing way that things are going to work out one way or the other. And just listening to my intuition, listening to that whisper of the divine, telling me which way to go, reminding me not to worry about it, right? And so that's where I'm at. I'm waiting to do the lawyer. I can't currently find another place to work. I'm just sort of in limbo. So life is wild, guys. Life is wild, but that's where I'm at. I'm still blessed. I got a roof over my head. I'm still blessed that I got Chi-Chi to be my lovely companion every day. I see my kids every week. Like I got food in my belly. Like it could be a lot worse, right? I got my health. I got a beautiful park to walk to every day. Like the weather is amazing down here. It's cooled down. Thank the Lord that it's cooled down here finally in the wintertime. But life is good. So I'm trying not to be a Debbie Downer. I'm trying not to play the victim here. But I just thought I'd give you guys an update as to what's going on, and I can't wait to kick ass in court. I just need that $500. So stay tuned as to how that works out, because it always does, and I know that it will. And I'm excited to and to be continued this thing for you guys and get back to you and let you know how it wraps up perfectly and divinely, as it always does. So love you guys. I'm loving doing these videos, and I look forward to the next one. And if you haven't already, please subscribe or give me a thumbs up or whatever you think is going to help me out, because the algorithms love it. I'm trying to grow this channel, and so I really appreciate everybody who's been following me and commenting and liking. Appreciate it, and love you. End transmission.